Be honest, how many of you knew about Anvil before VH1 Classic? No lying. Impact is Imminent is the latest album from the OG metal act Anvil, straight from Canada. One of the predecessors to thrash. A band so big, they joined the ranks amongst Smash Mouth and Alien Ant Farm to earn the right to play in my town. For those who know me in the real world, that don't mean jack. I was very unfamiliar with the band until they were on that metal show, and then they had the documentary. After that, I checked out the classic album Metal on Metal, and I loved it. Listening to the latest album at the time is so-so. And then I just kind of forgot about them. When I was refreshing my album watch list, I saw this one was coming out, and I was intrigued. I was actually really glad to see they hadn't stopped making music. Frankly, they never really ever stopped making music. Hell yeah! So how is their latest project? Well, let's find out. And here we go. Yes, that's back two. We kick it off with an old school talking intro. Kind of reminds me of the Tenacious D intro. Okay, the Kiss talking intro. Speaking of kicking off, this one kicks it off by starting to just kick some serious ass when the riffs start flying around. The verse itself has a very, just a really good metally bounce feel to it. The chorus vocal melody, though, isn't really anything to write home about, but it works. One thing I do appreciate, though, is that this one sounds old. That old school metal tone, it's hard to beat it. It's killer. It's a great tone setter to kick off the album. Taking a trip to the paranormal. Neat. This one feels like a more old-school classic thrash metal riff. The verse, though, is kinda bad. The second verse is better as it mixes it up, but yeah. The chorus is good as it brings back in the classic style riff, but for the second time, the chorus vocal-wise is just very lackluster. The solo section, though, is badass, and it is just pure pedal to the metal. It's the best part of the song, but the rest is just frankly forgettable. Another gunfight, another groovy time. This feels like more if The Clash did a metal song, at least in the verse, which is a very stark contrast to the really dark, chord-heavy intro. It almost has an old-school Judas Priest sound to it. I'm talking way back in the old days. The thing that's really starting to get me to worry about this, though, is that once again, the chorus is boring. I hope that improves as the album goes on, because no matter how, good and memorable the rest of the song is, if the crescendo is a really lame chorus, it kind of kills the song. A lame chorus just kills the momentum. You notice, you look back at a lot of songs can have really boring verses, but the chorus is the hook, makes the song memorable. You don't really memorize songs for the verses. Yeah, I'll stick it. The song had potential, but the chorus and verse killed it. Better than Blood, I suppose. The beginning of the song just screams 80s glam. The verse is awesome again. And yes, while once again the chorus is lazy, it fits better here, as when it's paired with the verse. It actually does, this song has a very severe Motorhead feel to it, and that's always a good thing. Oh, I'm sorry. The song makes me think of Satch Boogie, and the bass is quite nice. It's the standout feature of the song. Other than the one instance of them yelling, "Teabag!" the song is an instrumental. A very groovy Stray Cat feeling one. With the fun nature of this song, it makes me wonder if my joke is a joke after all. More cowbell! The hard chord and thumping tom intro of this really reminds me of Metal on Metal. I have a feeling that was intentional. And finally, a non-lame chorus! Not much else to say, it's just nice to finally have a consistent track. These guys really do love their double bass, don't they? The aggressiveness returns, which is nice, both lyrically and musically. Unfortunately, the lame chorus is back. It's just not as bad as before. It's okay. The main part is part of the chorus, but they also add in the vocal harmonies to, cap off the choruses. It's a nice little touch that helps, elevate it. It's also just that the rest of the song is so good, it helps hold it up. Leroy Brown has entered the chat. What? He's the baddest man in the whole damn town. The main riff is very straightforward, but effective. It builds perfect momentum that they carry on throughout the track. It's a very well-constructed track that makes you want to just race on the freeway at a legal rate of speed, mind you, and just blast it. Lyrically, it's a little try-hard in spots, but let's be honest here, that's what metal is sometimes. Sometimes it just has to be a little try-hard. Keep your wizard wand to yourself. As for the sleeve, Anyway, the riff has a great rolling quality to it. In ways, it kind of reminds me of the Zoo from Scorpions. But that gets lost in the very repetitive verse, and I'm gonna sound like a broken record. The lame chorus. It's getting very old at this point. Not just for you, but for me as well. It lowers the replayability of this album quite a lot, actually. I'll save it for the verdict. A verdict that's coming now. I hate to skip the last few tracks, but it was just more of the same, and I was getting really tired of just saying the same thing over and over again. I appreciate and love the fact that they are still creating music consistently to this day, but I don't give free passes. There are equal parts of great riffs and solos as there is to pretty crap choruses and repeating melodies. I mean, it almost has the same song on here twice. Gomez is just a souped up version of Teabag. That is a sentence I never want to say again. I do think this album is worth at least a listen through once, and if the songs were to come up on a shuffle, I would not skip them. I actually do think these tracks serve better on a playlist that's on shuffle, but I don't think I ever want to go back and listen to this album front to back again. And with that, this album earns a D+. Yes, I'm switching to a traditional grading system mainly for people who aren't, they're new here, aren't familiar with my kind of crazy, wacky, creative rating system. Everyone understands what grades are. D+ makes sense. I actually may go back to all my rankings and just kind of convert them over to make things make more sense. While yes, this album does have some pretty good moments, they really aren't anything to write home about. And the bad parts are just a little too cringy to not take this down. And that's coming from someone who doesn't mind a bit of cringe. It's a shame. I want to like this one more than I did, but it can't always be the case. If you guys enjoyed this, I have the goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers before my birthday next month. So if you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. We're almost there. We just need a surge. So help surge. Share me with your friends. Share me with your family. Share me with your enemies if you hate me and make them love me. That's a good revenge right there. If you want to help out, support me even further. I'm a guy doing this all by his lonesome and need a little support because I'm a poor boy. Patreon.com/Fenrirock. Links down in the description. 3 different tiers. 3rd tier has merch. I have plans for them going, but I need people there. So check out Patreon. Become a patron if you can. It'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. And stay tuned for us this week as more content's coming out. Subscribe to the FCU to stay up to date with all the behind-the-scenes stuff and with the happenings of the Fenrirock Clan universe. Stay tuned this week to WTF as we react to the terrible, but some people call lovely terrible, Velocipaster. And coming this Wednesday, starting out, we have the first episode of Megadeth vs. Metallica as Kill 'Em All and Killing Is My Business go head-to-head as we slowly but surely find out through this tournament-style video who truly is the master. Not of the puppets. Yeah. We're done here. If you're still watching, and you haven't subscribed, what you doing? Just do it. I mean, nothing wrong with it. Hit subscribe, ring the bell. My name's David. You can call me Fenrirock. Take care. All that stuff.